Yes, please tell us your story.
Okay, I had about four major things going on at one time. I've always suffered from anxiety and depression issues, but I guess about a year ago, I started having trouble with breathing and my left side was giving me a lot of trouble. I was figuring it probably was a fibroid tumor, and I went to the doctor, had one removed, but he didn't remove that one. I don't know why, but it was giving me a lot of trouble. My stomach was giving me a lot of trouble, and then I guess you would say a month about 2 months ago now, it just really got bad. My breathing got really bad. I could hardly go from one room to the other without uh, getting out of breath. And whenever I would talk, I'd get out of breath. When I would eat, I'd get out of breath. And then my stomach would swell. So it was just a lot of discomfort, side hurting. And then I just started having just so much anxiety. I mean, everything made me nervous to the point that I could no longer get in front of the Zoom, and I just couldn't talk to anybody much other than close family. But anyway, my breathing was the main thing that I was concerned with. So my daughter said, "Well, look, Mom, you come here to Atlanta, and I'm going to make an appointment for her doctor," and she did. The day that I went to the doctor, I was told that I had a heart condition, congestive heart failure. And that was the reason why I was having so much trouble breathing. I also had a stomach infection. And I guess the anxiety was going along with all of that. And then this place on this side, I never did get a chance to get a diagnosis on it because the technician that was supposed to do the test had emergency issues in her family, and I didn't get to do it before I came back home. But anyway, the day that I was diagnosed with the congestive heart failure, I had the Uber driver drop me off at a CVS, which is like 3 blocks from my daughter, thinking that I would go in and get the antibiotics for my stomach infection and just walk to her apartment 3 blocks away. Well, when I came out and crossed the street, I knew immediately I had made a mistake because I could not breathe. I just was having just such a hard time that I thought I was actually going to fall out in the street. And I looked around. It's a real busy section. I saw people. I said, well, if I go down, maybe someone will call 911. But I just walked real slowly and finally made it, out of breath and everything. I got in the apartment and I started to call 911, but I just hated to do that. And I just kept kind of hoping that it would calm down. Eventually it did. And I immediately remembered that the sister had sent me a text about microdaily. I didn't know that's what it was, but what it was is that I've always done natural stuff. So once she said I had congestive heart failure, then I said, I need to find some natural stuff that can help me. So that's what started my research. And she had sent me some information about microdaily about a month prior to that, but I didn't look at it. So I went back, I read it, I did the research, I looked at the videos and decided to order it. Now, before I received it, I literally could not go from one room to another without breathing issues still. She still hadn't given me anything for that. She had referred me to a cardiologist. And so I, uh, about a week later, my products came. I started taking them. Didn't go out the apartment because I just had so much trouble working. I just stayed in there for about a week and a half. But I noticed that I was doing better. And my daughter said, well, Mom, I'm going to have to go down the block, 4 blocks away from her in the opposite direction to the dentist. She thought she was going to have an extraction. And she said, I'm going to need you to help me to get back. And so I said, well, I am feeling better, so I'll try and help you. We were going to walk down there. So she walked ahead of me. And I said, I'm going to come on. I'm just going to take my time. And I walked in and I felt like normal, like I wasn't running out of breath or anything. And by this time I had been on the EMF uh, I had doubled up actually because I ordered extra. I guess about a week, not even quite a week and a half now. And then before I could get there, because I started behind her, she called and said the doctor wasn't going to do the extraction, but that he was going to give her antibiotic and he would do the extraction later. So I said, well, I'm almost there now. So she came out, we met, we walked back the 4 blocks past her apartment, 3 blocks down to the CVS. And I was also picking up another prescription down there and she was getting her antibiotics, and then walked back home. I went from not being able to go from room to room to walking 12 blocks that day after taking the antibiotics. Also, this place in my side, as I took it, in my opinion, I felt like it was the size of maybe a small orange. I could feel it. I couldn't lay on it. It was causing me a lot of pain. And about a week later, it was about the size of an egg. I could feel it actually going down. And a week after that, it was about the size of I guess a walnut or a pecan. Now I can't feel it. I know that there's still something there, but it's getting better. But I can lay on it. I actually can lay on that side. I haven't been able to lay on it for 3 years. The anxiety just almost kind of, I can't say disappeared, but almost there. I've been taking the CBD also. So my stomach is so much better, so much better. Even after the antibiotics, I started right away on the probiotics. And it's just changed my life. That's my story.
That's a wonderful story, Freddie. Can you just to put it into context for us, when you first had your problem there at CVS, when you first were in trouble with your breathing and trying to walk back home, how much later was it before you finally received Microdaily? Did you say that was about 2 weeks later?
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks later, because when I got home is when I did the research. I got in touch with the sister, and then I ordered the product. So I would say it's a good 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks before I actually received the product.
Uh-huh. And then you were on the product for
a week and a week and a couple of days before I went to the dentist with her.
So 9 days later, you decide to put it to the test.
Yes.
Were you crazy?
No, I knew it was going to work.
You knew it.
I'm one of those people that, I've been doing natural stuff. And when I read about it and I went on YouTube and I listened to the meeting and the testimonials and listened to the science behind it and listened to Dr. Prasad. It was like, oh, I've got to have this stuff. This is it. So I knew it was going to work. I didn't know that it was going to work like it did, but I knew it was going to do something. And I am amazed at what it has done. I mean, literally. Oh, and the reason why I can't get on the camera is because my husband got sick 2 days ago. And we thought, oh, it might be COVID, but he went to the doctor. It wasn't COVID. He has the flu. And so I've been, like I threw him on the other end of the house and I'm on this end. But I was feeling like maybe I'm trying to get a little sick. So I just doubled up on my Microdaily, the red bottle, and just really been taking it like crazy. And so nothing's happened. I look a mess, but I don't have the cold, and he's getting over his flu really fast to me. And he's, I've been getting him to double up on it too.
Wow. That's absolutely wonderful. What an amazing story. Thank you very much for being willing to share that. We're looking forward to hearing any updates that you may have on that. By the way, you said your doctor diagnosed you with congestive heart failure. What does the doctor say now?
I haven't been yet. She told me, that's what I'm waiting for. She told me that my numbers, my heart should be pumping blood into my body at a rate of about 60 or 65, and it was down to 46. So I was in Atlanta. I live here in Mississippi. So I had been up there for 6 weeks, and he was going to put that appointment on like 4 weeks later. So I decided just to have my medical papers transferred here to the cardiologist here, and I will see them next week. So hopefully I'll have some kind of report from him next week.
Very good. Very good. We look forward to hearing the updates on your story. Thank you again very much for sharing.
Will do. Thank you.